Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for God of War Ragnarok, and today I want to talk about everything we currently know on the game, which admittedly isn't a great deal, but I am incredibly excited for this title. It is one of my most anticipated games for next year. There are plenty of great games coming next year, so that definitely says a lot. But in this video, I want to quickly wrap up everything we currently have, so if you haven't been following all the news, or you just want a quick recap as to where we currently stand with this title, then look no further. If you guys do enjoy this and you find this helpful, a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below which game next year is on your most anticipated list and what else do you want to see in God of War. Also, don't forget to subscribe because of course we do much more on this game as we learn more. So first things first, God of War Ragnarok of course is the sequel to the previous God of War game, obviously, and this will continue the Kratos Atreus saga. When it comes to release platforms, this is coming to both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, which admittedly is a sort of contentious topic. Some people of course do want it to be a completely PS5 title so that they can then fully utilize the hardware, but admittedly, given that PlayStation 5s are still pretty hard to get a hold of, I understand that financially, as a business sense, it makes sense to allow more people to experience the game, of course, therefore including PS4. Either way, God of War on PS4 still look fantastic. If you play it on the PS5 right now, it looks amazing as well. God of War just looks great, so they've already done a fantastic job and I just want more of the story. Either way, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in 2022. Now rather interestingly, it might well, or at least the rumours suggest, it could well be sooner than we might think, and of course the main reason for this is because if you look at it on the PlayStation website, it does appear under the coming soon section. That being said, I don't really feel like that's necessarily a concrete suggestion, given that of course the other games listed here are things like Little Devil Inside, which I'm also looking forward to, and things like Final Fantasy 16, none of which we actually have a solid window or date for, so the fact that it's on coming soon doesn't really imply anything other than it's coming soon. That being said, 2022 is of course the release window, so that's what you have to look forward to. Now when it comes to the story, of course this is taking place 3 years after the events of the previous game. Fimbulwinter is drawing to a close, and it's prophesied that Ragnarok will begin once it comes to an end. Now of course Atreus is teenaged, and he's still reeling from the revelations of the previous game, and of course he continues to seek answers about his identity as Loki, as well as of course a way to prevent Ragnarok from happening. To uncover the truth, Kratos and Atreus set out to find answers, searching for the giant Norse god of war Tyr, who was previously believed to be dead. Whilst traversing the 9 realms, the duo of course need to face new threats, including Thor himself, which is going to be incredible. He's of course the enraged god of thunder. There's also Freya, who is of course now a former friend, former ally, who now seeks vengeance following the death of her son Balder by Kratos' hands. It's also important to note that where in the 2018's God of War we were allowed to visit 6 of the 9 realms, Ragnarok is going to open up all 9 realms, allowing us to explore Vanaheim, Svartalfheim, and Asgard, as well as of course the previous realms on top. Keep in mind, if you're returning to previous realms, they will of course add stuff on top. Don't just expect you'll be retracing your exact same steps, but all 9 realms will be accessible. The director for this title is Eric Williams. Of course, Cory Barlog is taking a step back from this one, but Eric Williams has been the designer on the franchise since the very first God of War, so it's safe to say, despite the change in director, he clearly knows what he's doing. Now when it comes to combat and new mechanics, the team have said that they've been working super hard on their learnings from God of War 2018, and they want to improve upon the feel of combat. They want it to feel fresh, yet familiar. They said with God of War Ragnarok, one of the main goals was to push player choice in combat, whether it be through hard-hitting combos, a mastery of elements, or clever defensive tactics. They said you'll find plenty of opportunity to fight alongside your duo in ways that feel unique and expressive. And of course, factoring in both weapons you have available, given of course that you will be continuing from the last game, then you'll have plenty of stuff from the get-go. The enemies in Ragnarok are also said to be harsher and more varied. Of course, one of the main criticisms of the first game were that a lot of the enemies were quite samey after a while, so they are going to be adding in more variety, and of course some of them will be creatures from Norse mythology. Some of the new enemies revealed in the trailer so far include the Stalker and the Dreki. Of course, if we then turn our attention to the trailer, the more recent gameplay trailer we had a chance to take a look at, which looks fantastic, our very first look at the game, right off the bat we do get to see teenage Atreus looking like he's got a chip on his shoulder. One of the cool things it looks like we have access to when it comes to exploring the world are wolves for traversal. Our boat still returns, so we can of course paddle our way down the lakes, across the oceans, but we also have access to wolves for travel through the snow. Additionally, we do of course get to meet Tyr at the end of the trailer, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Tyr of course is the Norse god of war. He is huge. It is probably one of the first times that Kratos has ever been made to look small. Well, I say that, he's fought some big guys, but you know what I mean. Standing face to face with someone else, Kratos normally towers over a lot of people. Tyr, of course, is a big guy. He's a brave warrior, he's a member of the Aesir tribe, and he was known for championing order and justice. It'll be interesting to see in what state he is in this game, because of course Tyr in Norse mythology lost his arm to Fenrir, the giant wolf, one of Loki's offspring. We also see at the very end of the trailer, we see Angrboda, who of course in Norse mythology is Loki's partner, Loki being Atreus, so there will probably be some kind of romantic interest in Ragnarok. Quite how that will develop, quite of course how that will take place, will of course remain to be seen, but she is of course a Jotun, a giant, and she is also the mate of Loki and the mother of monsters, and of course their children are Jormungandr, the world serpent, Fenrir, the wolf, and Hel as well. And that of course then goes back to why Jormungandr, the world serpent, said he recognised Atreus. Outside of that, there's not really much else to talk about, but it is worth noting that just the other day, in fact yesterday, they announced that God of War, the 2018 game, will be coming to PC, so I don't imagine this will launch simultaneously on PC, but quite whether this will then have a PC release at a later date, I imagine it is only a matter of time. It's probably one of those things whereby they want PC players to get into the franchise, so they can then maybe use that to incentivize more PlayStation sales. Either way, PC version is a possibility. But for the time being, that's everything we have on God of War Ragnarok. That's what we have to look forward to. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have got any more questions, and of course, as and when we find out any more information, I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.